Hey guys, yeah, it is about 7:47 right now in the morning on this Tuesday, January 3rd. You can pretty much see that right there. If you will, you can pretty much see that right there. And yes, I am in the kitchen. I'm also walking around the house because, yes, as of right now, unless she gets major news that even she wasn't aware of, as of right now, we are back to normal. Yes, we are back to normal. Now you might think, well, doesn't your mom get like another day off this month? Technically she does, I think. I think technically she does, because we do have, I think, one more holiday coming up, and I think that's Martin Luther King Day. But we're not totally sure on that just yet. I mean, a lot of things have been changing, with my mom and her school schedule, and not just, the organization she works for, the Head Start organization she works for, but also with the public schools and all that. We're not totally sure exactly what is going on. We're not totally sure about that whatsoever. Now, as far as kind of getting back to normal, this week will kind of be a little bit of an exception. I am going to be working like today. By the time you watch this, I'll be on my way to work, hopefully with no issues. Tomorrow I will be off, and then Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday I will be working as well. Now you might ask yourself, well, how is that kind of getting back to normal since you're still working? Well, first of all, today's schedule and Thursday's schedule, and well, yeah, that's basically it. Thursday and today and Thursday's schedule kind of work in my favor a little bit, just a bit, because of the fact that I get off at 3:45 today. Now, there is a good opportunity, a good chance, depending on how things are scheduled out, there is a good chance I will be able to get out maybe about, I would say, 5 minutes early to get down to the bus stop, catch my bus, the 341 bus, basically, and get home. Now you might say, well, if you get off 5 minutes early, you're going to miss your bus. Well, what I mean by that, technically, is getting off essentially a little after, like, let's say 3:35, 3:36 passes. Then what I can do is I can basically, walk around to the exit in the front of the store, or go out the side exit, which, you got to make sure is okay with everybody. And then what I do is I go as quickly as my feet can carry me to the bus stop to catch my bus to head back to Patterson and then back to Newman. And the reason I bring this up is because of the fact, ladies and gentlemen, that basically, when I get home from riding that bus, I usually beat my mom home by at least, I would say, 15-20 minutes. That's pretty much about it. And what that does is I add that additional 15 to 20, maybe 30 minutes, depending on the situation. I add that onto the time I have right now. Like my mom, she left at around 6:53 officially to head to work. I mean, she did leave the house, I would say, about 8 minutes before. But what she does is she gets into her car and she warms it up. It's that cold. And the reason, because of that, she's been advised to, do such a thing by the mechanic that we go to, that it would help the car out in the long run, especially in cold weather. Anyway, once she leaves, basically pulls out of the driveway and leaves, it gives me basically, essentially, about 2 hours to myself. Now, of course, I got to hop in the shower in a little bit and clean up and everything, but I still have time to myself. And what I mean by time to myself is, doing videos like this and trying to upload them before I leave. Now, like I said, tomorrow I'll be off, but I'm not going to really do too much because honestly, I've been counting down, and I say this with all love and respect, I've been counting down basically the time I would have the place entirely to myself again. I'm not saying I didn't have that when she was off and everything. I'm not saying that. But the way the weather and stuff worked out and things, it basically felt like, yeah, I kind of had the house to myself a bit, but not really, not in the total sense and everything. I mean, yeah, I was able to get some videos out, but as you probably heard in the videos, you heard another voice that was my mom's, because she didn't know I was recording or anything, so I had to unpause and everything, or I just had to let it go and all that, because I was just in the process of doing the video, and I didn't want to stop or anything. So now I'll be able to, as I'm doing right now, I'll be able to do like videos and all that without any kind of interruption, hopefully, down the line. Now, like I said, things could change and things could, surprisingly change if, like I said, my mom finds out, oh, by the way, we're not supposed to be back at work until the 9th. And to me, I'd be like, why didn't, to me, here's what I would do. Here's what I would do if that ends up being the case. I don't think it would be, because that would be a surprise. That would not just catch my mom. Oh, let me try to adjust the camera there. That wouldn't just, catch my mom off guard, but catch all her fellow teachers off guard. But and the thing is, thing that I would ask her, because I know she'd probably ask the same thing, or somebody would ask the same thing, is, well, why didn't you just tell us before we left? Because they need to let them know that if there's going to be any changes and everything down the line. Now, be that as it may, I don't think that's going to happen because she was already informed that they were going back today. Now, you might say to yourself, well, what does that do for, let's say, your Christmas tree and your decorations and all that? We're probably going to leave it up another week. My schedule going into next week is really weird. But again, it's that time of year to where we're just coming off of the holiday rush, almost nonstop for 2 months. We're coming off that, and now, we're getting into more of a break, more of like a reset, if you will. And mainly what that means is a lot of hours are going to be cut. Some not so much, some significantly, and it will lead to people probably looking for other opportunities or looking to go back to unemployment, basically, get unemployment pay and everything because, they're not, getting the hours they need. Now, now the reason I bring this up when it comes to not just this week with the short hours, but next week as well, is I only work, like this week, I work today, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, so that's 4 days, and that's okay. Next week, for some odd reason, I'm scheduled only 2 days, which is Tuesday and Saturday, which means I will have Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I'll have the house to myself, with the exception of Sunday maybe. With the exception of Sunday maybe, I will have the house to myself for basically 4 days. Not in a row, but basically 4 days. 3 days in a row, yes. 4 days, no. But it will be 4 out of the 5 Monday through Friday weekday days that I will have the place to myself, which is Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And, I'm totally fine with that because that gives me a lot of opportunity. You know, I can get up early all the time like I'm up now and be able to really catch up on things. The only thing I have yet to do is appeal my non-monetization deal. Now, I don't know what's going on with YouTube and the monetization situation, because apparently I'm not the only one dealing with this deal. Again, I don't know what reused content I'm being accused of, but I'm just going to leave it be for right now. I'm gonna, you know, I'll put it this way. They love to give you the 3 strikes you're out rule, right? Any company, any business likes to do that. So I look at it this way. If I'm not approved for monetization going into February, if I'm not approved for that, then I'm basically going to appeal them. I'm going to give them 3 strikes. You know, and usually, and here's what's funny. They say they take about a month or so to kind of figure out whether or not your page is eligible, but mine, for some odd reason, has been pretty much reviewed and taken care of within the span of 24, 48 hours. And I'll admit that's good. That's a good thing to do, but it's like, I have a lot of videos. How can you go through that in just that quick amount of time? So hopefully, whatever's going on over YouTube and Google, you know, they can address and fix as we go into this new year. But yeah, basically, with that being the exception, and the only other financial support that I have is through my podcast, my BW Rose Discussions podcast. You know, besides that, everything is pretty much normal again, or at least we've pretty much have obtained that, you know, as of right now. Again, I'm not saying that's totally true, because like I said, things could change. Things could rapidly change out of nowhere and stuff, and either I could be working more hours, which I wouldn't have a problem with, or my mom could be told, like I said, you know, the moment she gets there today, oh, by the way, we're not starting till the 9th. You know, that would be a surprise. Like, again, why don't you just tell them that before they come to work? It would make more sense. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think that'll be the case or anything. But anyway, yeah, we are pretty much back to normal. Back to normal for at least a couple of weeks. Because like I said, the only exception, which would put it kind of slightly in semi-normal status, the only exception, ladies and gentlemen, the only exception will be Martin Luther King Day later this month, but not entirely sure about that as of right now. But we'll see. We shall see. But if you guys do want to help me out, though, going into the new year financially, you can help me at Venmo at Brian-Walmer-2 and Cash App at BWRoses98. That's $sign BWRoses98. You guys can help me out there. Any little bit helps in the long run. Like I said, Venmo is at Brian-Walmer-2 and Cash App is BWRoses, the $sign before the Cash App. BWRoses98, that is. For Cash App. So yeah, Venmo is Brian-Walmer-2. Cash App is BWRoses98 if you guys want to help me out in that area. And also, if you want to help me out with my Patreon, that'd be great too. $1 gets you a shout out, $3 gets you a shout out, and access to content before anybody else. And I got to get back on that eventually, so you know you could, you know, so I can make a little bit of a earning on the side, if you know what I mean. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys, now that we're getting back into normalcy, if you will. Back to normalcy and everything as time goes on. Let me know what your thoughts are. Comment if you like. Love to hear from each and every one of you. And until then, I got to go get myself ready, hop in the shower, get myself ready for work, guys. And I will talk to you later. If I do another video before work, it'll probably be either on the bus, if I can get some privacy there, which is sometimes possible, if not impossible. And maybe even do it before work, because if the bus works out the way it does, it'll get me to work before 11 o'clock, which is when I'm scheduled to start. But anyway though, guys, let me know what your thoughts are. And until then, I will talk to you all later.